regenerative and distributive models. This panel explored the necessity of creating regenerative and distributive agriculture products and systems that operate harmoniously within planetary boundaries. ACAT innovations should focus on solutions that minimize environmental impact, enhance ecological health, and empower local communities. This approach ensures that agriculture production remains within the Earth's ecological limits, promoting true sustainability alongside economic viability. These models represent a commitment to the future where agriculture not only thrives, but also actively contributes to the health of our planet. Some key take-home messages from the panel that passed this morning are these. First of all, the 9 billion Africans that were presented to us this morning, 1 billion are not just a number, they are mouths to feed. And that calls all of us to deploy ag technologies that recognize the centrality of our youth, because they are the champions and knowledge generators and the innovation generators of tomorrow. However, these youth do need mentorship, whereby, therefore, we need to have some ag hubs that foster an opportunity for co-creation, and the role of the private sector is very critical in making sure these youth are ably equipped in terms of experience, but they are also financially facilitated to put their technologies into practice, because we're told that an innovation that does not generate prosperity for tomorrow is just a piece of science. Your Excellency, the former President of Nigeria, honorable ministers, this session has sparked collaborative action among diverse stakeholders, fostering trust and stewardship towards the goal of a stronger network and next-gen ag-tech solutions for Africa's farmers. I thank you.
Let's appreciate her once more, please. I feel like I've talked about this dance a lot, and I hope we see the enthusiasm when we finally get to that point. But before we do that, I would like to acknowledge the Minister of Minagri, who is in the room. If we could give him a round of applause for Rwanda, Honorable Mark Bagabe. Also to recognize the Minister of State, Minagri, who is also in the room, Honorable Eric Rigamba. And they are inviting you to enjoy the dance. It is a big invitation. We hope you enjoy this morning.
Buracheye ma Kigali, where the hill rolls like whispers from the past, and the sun rises like a promise that will last. We gather from north, from south, from east and west, the Africa's finest minds with soil on their chests. We're here to talk tractors and tech, to drones in the sky, AI on deck, but also to honor the hoe, the hand, the hymn that once sowed sorghum by the moonlight state. Yes, we speak of satellites and soil irrigation, mobile apps that predict crop germination. But in our hearts, we still carry the stories of Nyogokuru, wise and visionary. She taught us that every seed is sacred, that the land is not owned, it's respected. And today, as the world shifts and spins, we blend tradition with machine-driven winds.
ijuru yanjye barafu n'ijuru banika bombi nandusha abandi kabanyana k'abakobwa ingwino mukabuze tugende twitahire iwacu twitahire iwacu.
In Kigali, we plant more than maize. We plant the future in African ways, where agasete isn't just a woven piece, it's a symbol of balance, culture, and peace. So let calcoals echo through these halls. Let Inori dance rise proud and tall. For even as we digitize our yield, we still bow before the sacred field. Because what is take without the story? What is growth without the glory of remembering who we are, of reaching for the stars? ACAT is more than a conference. It is a covenant between the past and tomorrow, between the past and tomorrow, between Kigali's sun and the farmer's sorrow. So raise your voice, Africa. Let Kigali be the seed. Let our innovations feed not just mouths, but every dream and every need. Let growth forward, rooted deep, but also dancing to the rhythm we keep. Murakoze cyane.
Can we please appreciate them for that perfect moment to reflect on the spirit of unity, stewardship that I believe has guided this conference so far. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the final part of our morning together. We do have some inspiring remarks and presentations that will be coming your way. To open this final segment, we welcome Mr. Vitumbiko Chinoko, who is the project manager at OFAP at ACAT. He will present the S-Data Melting Pot, offering key insights and reflections drawn from the sessions and stakeholder engagements that we've had throughout the conference.
Good morning. I've been told that the greatest honor you can ever receive is when someone pronounces your name exactly how your mother pronounces. You've just done that honor to me, and I wish to thank you very much. Sasa Mungu akubariki sana. Your Excellency, President Goodluck Jonathan, former President of the Republic of Nigeria, and ATF Goodwill Ambassador, Honorable Mark Bagave, Minister of Agriculture, and all ministers here present, Professor Agri Ambali, ATF Board Chair, and all board members here present, Dr. Canisius Kanangiri, ATF Executive Director, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again. It is such a great honor, as it is humbling, to present a synthesis of the 5 strategic dialogues convened here during ACAT 2025. We had a youth dialogue, private sector dialogue, researchers dialogue, a ministerial dialogue, and farmers dialogue. These sessions were extremely dynamic, inclusive, and deeply insightful, yielding us a wealth of ideas that cannot be fully captured in the few minutes that have been given now. I will therefore highlight just key outcomes that emerged out of these sessions that perhaps, in my opinion, reflect the collective ambition of these discussions. Before I do that, let me first and foremost acknowledge and thank the able moderators of these sessions, Honorable Minister Bagawe, Mr. Anthony Kamau, Ms. Martha Haile, Professor Shamalani Ngwenya, and Professor Egide Karuranga, whose skilled facilitation expertise helped us to get the best out of these sessions. Put your hands together for these great daughters and sons of the soil. Across the dialogues, a consistent core emerged: the need for a more inclusive, technology-driven, and sustainable agriculture transformation rooted in African realities, led by Africans. Allow me to give you a few more details from these sessions. From the youth dialogue, participants emphasized the need for peer and intergenerational knowledge exchange, supported by digital tools, academia, and private mentorship. They called on youth to move beyond short-term grants and build a viable, scalable agri-businesses. Investors were urged to de-risk youth engagement by investing in the growth of enterprises and not just personalities. Further, the youth called for structured opportunities and to be recognized not just as beneficiaries, but as co-architects of Africa's agricultural future. From the private sector dialogue, we highlighted practical innovations including climate-smart practices, drought-tolerant seeds, digital platforms, and insurance models that incentivize resilience. The dialogues urged for closer collaboration with financial institutions, piloting of technologies at the community level, and stronger partnerships among private sector, research institutions, and government bodies, particularly for women and for small-scale farmers. From the research dialogue, participants advocated for inclusive innovation ecosystems that blend scientific and indigenous knowledge. Emphasis was placed on validating traditional practices, protecting genetic resources, and embedding community voices into national research agenda. Innovation hubs, bioeconomy strategies, and equitable benefit-sharing mechanisms were also highlighted. From the ministerial dialogue, which was ably chaired and moderated by Honorable Minister Bagawe, the dialogue reaffirmed the agency of investing in centers of excellency, strengthening institutional capacity, and boosting research infrastructure. Ministers committed to drive policy reforms that would unlock agtech innovations in line with Kampala Declaration. Further, ministers committed to incentivize enhanced coordination among actors for scale and impact. Last but not least, ministers' dialogue committed to safeguarding Africa's genetic resources as a foundation for future innovation, again, in line with Kampala Declaration for Agriculture Transformation. Finally, but indeed not least, the Farmers' Dialogue reminded us that transformation must be grounded in the lived experiences of farmers. Technology must be co-developed with farmers and must be practical, inclusive, and responsive. Success stories such as the Japan AI-powered harvesting robot and Rwanda's hands-on agricultural training model demonstrated the power of innovation when aligned with farmers' realities. Smart villages concept and farmer-to-farmer training were recognized as scalable pathways for impact. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, these dialogues reaffirmed the importance of long-term investment in innovation, in people and institutions for agriculture transformation in Africa. Further, there was a call for the momentum created here not to end with Kigali. There is a strong appetite to institutionalize these dialogues within ACAT for accountability on the commitments that have been made here and for deepening partnerships for scalable agricultural transformation. As I said, ladies and gentlemen, the discussions were extremely deep, and I do hope I've tried to the extent I could to really capture the essence of what came out from these important dialogues. May God bless Rwanda. May God bless Africa. Thank you for your attention.
Esteemed guests, will now move to our reflections of the morning. And to begin us off, I would like to welcome to the stage Ms. Nancy Muchiri, who is the Senior Manager for the Communications and Partnerships at AATF, who will share highlights and priorities emerging from this conference. Welcome.
Thank you very, very much, Moderator Masozera. Your Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, excuse me for that, and country representatives, distinguished farmers, youth, scientists and researchers, development partners, honorable delegates, participants. My role this morning is to help us read through, or rather I will read through, the ACAT 2025 communique, and I confirm after I finish reading, there is room to submit any additions or changes later on, either directly to us, the organizers, or through the ACAT program email. I will read on all our behalf as participants, delegates, representing our reflections, discussions, and commitments during ACAT 2025. Convened by the government of Rwanda, the African Agricultural Technology Foundation and their partners, ACAT 2025 was held at the Kigali Convention Center, KCC, in Kigali, Rwanda, from 9th to 12th June 2025. Themed Next-Gen AgTech Solutions for Africa's Farmers, the conference explored promising opportunities for driving agricultural transformation, paying special attention on innovative AgTech solutions tailored to the needs of African smallholder farmers. ACAT 2025 brought together over 700 participants from over 35 nationalities, including the Prime Minister, Republic of Rwanda, the former President of the Republic of Nigeria, representatives of 6 African governments, including 2 ministers from Malawi and Ghana, and over 5 ministers from the government of Rwanda, farmers, 160 youth, heads of international, continental, and country-level agencies, researchers, private sector players, including financial institutions and industry experts. Featuring 4 high-level plenaries, 4 technical interactive panels, 5 strategic dialogues on agricultural technology in Africa as data, which Vitu went through, 8 live demonstrations of scalable technologies, 27 exhibitions of technologies and products, all driving towards fostering of collaborations to deliver scalable, farmer-focused solutions that transform livelihoods and strengthen agriculture in Africa for a resilient future, positioning Africa as a global leader in sustainable farming and recognizing the agricultural sector as the heartbeat of Africa's economies, ACAT 2025 established itself as the premier platform for advancing agtech transfer, showcasing successful integrated technology packages that bundled effective marketing and distribution systems and digital services with improved seeds, fertilizers, agrochemicals, and mechanization, recalling the commitment during ACAT 2023 to collaborate towards identifying and engaging a critical mass of high-level agtech ambassadors to serve as the voice of the continent on matters related to the development and deployment of agricultural technologies, noting that commitments and partnerships made during the inaugural ACAT 2023 in Nairobi, Kenya, have contributed to substantial advancements in scaling improved and climate-smart crop varieties and agro-processing innovations that have enhanced crop productivity and improved livelihoods for farmers in Africa, emphasizing the centrality of farmers in driving economic development and committing to continue fostering farmer-centric approaches in building productive, inclusive, and profitable food systems, underlining the importance of co-creation of agtech solutions jointly with farmers to enhance end-user adoption, diminish the digital divide, and elevate farmer voices by addressing the biases that viewed farmers as recipients of technologies rather than equal partners, recognizing the need for enhanced last-mile delivery through strengthening the suite of services, products, and technologies needed in farmers' fields, acknowledging the progress and milestones in policy making, noting that implementation of continental policy blueprints, such as the CADAP Strategy and Action Plan 2026-2035, the CADAP Kampala Declaration, and the African Continental Free Trade Area will provide strong institutional backing for commercialization, creating an enabling environment for private sector, increasing access to allied investments, and harnessing public-private partnerships that produce affordable agtech solutions, acknowledging that agricultural technologies possess the undeniable power to revolutionize agriculture in Africa, but its potential remains untapped if it doesn't reach and empower Africa's youth, the continent's demographic engine and primary workforce. We, participants at the second edition of the African Conference on Agricultural Technologies, ACAT, 1, welcome the resolutions of the ministerial dialogue chaired by the Minister for Agriculture and Animal Resources, Republic of Rwanda, Honorable Dr. Mark Chubahiro Bagabe, which emphasized on enhanced public budget allocations towards agtech-related rural infrastructure development and agricultural training at public universities, catalyzing and fostering multi-sectoral collaboration to drive participatory and co-creation initiatives between the public sector, research institutions, civil society, the private sector, and farming communities, advancing regional harmonization and alignment of national aspirations with continental blueprints, and creating an enabling environment to drive agtech commercialization, and lastly, ensuring equitable access to agro inputs and climate-smart innovations, adequate extension, and long-term food security and mainstreaming the youth, women, and rural farmers in government policies and strategies. 2, call for the scaling of participatory and adaptive farmer extension, education, and training models, including those that emphasize on value chain approaches, seeing and eating is believing, farmer-to-farmer training, and smart villages to drive sustainable adoption of agtech solutions. 3, commit to prioritize the needs of women and youthful farmers and agripreneurs in developing successful, scalable, and sustainable agribusiness initiatives, including agro-processing and value addition, driven by market demand and strategic partnerships. 4, encourage African governments, regional economic communities, continental bodies and organs to heighten efforts towards mechanisms for de-risking agriculture, increased investments, public-private partnerships, cross-continental and intercontinental collaboration, and building necessary rural infrastructure for sustainable agtech commercialization through their respective policy frameworks. 5, recognize the youth as a strong force that is and should be driving the development and adoption of agtech in Africa, and therefore commit to adopt youth empowerment, mentorship, linkages with investors, and recognition of youth innovations as integral components of ACAT, advocate for the development of youth-friendly policies, and call upon governments and partners to invest in youth-focused agri-innovations, enable their access to finances and knowledge sharing from researchers, foster networking, mentorship, and investments in African institutions that offer internships, skill coaching, and youth mentorship. And lastly, develop an intentional action plan for elimination of challenges on last-mile delivery of agtechs to youth farmers, promoting youth-led innovation solutions while promoting youth programs in between ACAT editions. 6, we commit to exploring transparent frameworks for respectful and fair integration of traditional technical knowledge in soil fertility improvement, pest control, and climate prediction into formal research and development systems that address questions of ethics, intellectual property, benefit sharing, and data sovereignty for farmers, women, and youth. 7, we note that intellectual property protection, when managed ethically and equitably, is an enabler and not a hindrance to innovation. 8, we encourage the promotion of inclusive open source licensing models for plant materials to democratize access and foster collaboration among farmers and researchers, investment in strengthening legal and technical capacity within local research institutions and universities, and training individuals to negotiate fair licensing deals and manage intellectual property responsibly. 8, we reiterate that no single entity can drive sustainable agricultural transformation in Africa, and therefore encourage the establishment of long-lasting partnerships that are grounded on mutual respect and interest and trust, and are capable of scaling proven innovations and driving real transformation for smallholder farmers across Africa. 10, we recommit to sustain engagement on agricultural technology in between ACAT editions through organizing and engaging in strategic dialogues on agricultural technologies, S-data, to foster honesty, accountability among and between farmers, the youth, policymakers, researchers, and private sector players. 11, we endorse the recognition and adoption of ACAT as the continent-wide forum that will showcase emerging technologies and innovations, promote networking, and share knowledge to unlock access to technology and its delivery. 12, we resolve to meet again in Nairobi, Kenya, in May 2027, to take stock of the progress made against the commitments herein agreed to. In closing, We recognize and appreciate the commitment of the former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and AATF Goodwill Ambassador for Agricultural Technology, Your Excellency Dr. Goodluck Jonathan. And we fully appreciate His Excellency President Paul Kagame and the people of Rwanda for their hospitality and hosting of ACAT 2025 edition. I end the communique.
Can we appreciate her once more for that very exhaustive communique? We will now hear from Dr. Canisius Kainanjire, who is the Executive Director, AATF, and also the ACAT 2025 Local Organizing Committee co-chair. We can show him a little bit more love than that. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. Your Excellency, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and AATF Goodwill Ambassador, Honorable Dr. Mark Kyubahiro Bagabe, Minister of Agriculture and Animal Resources in Rwanda, Honorable Ministers present here, Honorable Chair of the Board of AATF, Professor Agre Ambali, and all the board members present, distinguished delegates, scientists, innovators, development partners, ladies and gentlemen. This is the climax of a very energizing week. I can't realize actually that ACAT is ending. I think we kept very excited and waiting for something new to come. It was very energizing. There are so many adjectives that I would love to use to describe the passion and engagement during the last 4 days, but for now, let us use just the word electrifying. Together, we have explored many possible angles from which the potential of next-gen agricultural technologies can be fully unlocked, while also acknowledging with remarkable humility the gaps, the challenges, and the missed opportunities from which lessons have emerged. Your Excellencies, my role right now is not to remind you of the details of what we discussed, but to just express our profound gratitude to your commitment as demonstrated by your full attendance, passionate engagement, and honesty in sharing your insights. Thank you very much. Because of your openness to sharing your perspective on the themes of ACAT 2025, you have helped raise the benchmark for the quality of future conversations about next generation's ag technologies. I want to most sincerely thank the government of the Republic of Rwanda for accepting to host ACAT 2025. Your leadership and commitment was demonstrated throughout the preparations for the actual conference. We are truly indebted to your support for the success of ACAT 2025. I would also like to appreciate His Excellency Goodluck Jonathan for coming to support us during this week. your presence, sir, and remarks in the different sessions and the various engagements you have had with delegates have been very encouraging in the work we are all doing to drive agricultural transformation across the continent. Thank you very much. To our partners, we want you to know that your continued friendship and support is highly appreciated and cherished. Thank you very much. To the diverse participants from academia, media, government leadership, NGOs, youth, and farmer representatives, we say thank you very much for your commitment, insight, and continued belief in the potential of transforming agriculture in Africa through collaboration and knowledge sharing. My colleagues at AATF and our Minagri colleagues spent countless hours and days preparing for this event with a firm belief that it was relevant, timely, and worthy of the attendance of highly distinguished guests like yourselves. Your outstanding participation and your engagement during the whole week are the biggest thank you that you have given to this team. I thank you very much. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me close my remarks by repeating the famous proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And this brings me to what was said actually during the 2 last days, emphasizing the need of partnership, the need of collaboration, the need of not leaving anyone behind in this journey of transforming agriculture. We look forward to seeing you, or most of you, with refreshed ideas, re-energized commitment, and most importantly, with success stories following from some of the initiatives shared during this week. Coming back to the youth especially, there are so many ideas, so many projects that they think about which need to be just given a push. And those will be part of the low-hanging fruits in the stories that we will share, I hope, in 2027. We are proposing that the next ACAT to be held in 2027, in May 2027, during the week of Monday 10th to Thursday 13th. I'm saying this so that you put those dates in your busy calendar, because we want to get you, we want to assess the progress we are making together as partners into this journey, transformative journey. Thank you very much once again. Travel safely to your destinations, and God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the remarks. We will be proceeding now and hearing from Professor Agre Mbali, board chair for AATF, who will also add his voice to this section of our morning. You're welcome, Professor.
the former president of Nigeria, His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, the Minister of Agriculture and Livestock of Rwanda, Dr. Bagabe, all protocol observed. I think my task is quite straightforward in the sense that on behalf of the board, management, and staff of ATF, all we can say that we feel relieved that we've come to this point. First, you blessed us with your presence. Secondly, the enrichment of the knowledge that we've shared over here. Thirdly, the quest for this not just being a talk, but action on the ground. And fourth, the fact that you have embraced the youth to really be the ones that take up this journey, and that we should be there to guide the youth. I think my colleague, Professor Carr, eloquently actually teased out that aspect. And of course, there are several areas where you actually have committed to take the necessary action. Even more important is the fact that ATF could not have done this alone. And I think that is what we've tried to emphasize throughout since we convened here, and even in the material that we sent to you before this particular meeting. I'm therefore grateful to the leadership, government, and people of the Republic of Rwanda for really shouldering the burden and the opportunity of actually hosting us in this beautiful city of Kigali. At the same time, also I'd appreciate the partners that have been with us in organizing and running this particular conference. We are a learning organization as ATF, and we've taken a lot of suggestions in terms of what we should be looking into as we move to 2027. One of the things was that, can the farmers really take the center stage in 2027 and tell us what they have been able to achieve using the various agri technologies? The other aspect that we've been asked to look into consideration is, can the youth also, participate in several sessions and not just having their own sort of like session at a corner, but they should be part and parcel of all the dialogues, the negotiations, and what have you. And really turn this into a practical sort of platform where people should actually be seeing, actions actually taking us forward, and actually moving forward. Lastly, we've been reminded, none of this will go very far unless we put in place a good stewardship program. So with that, really, once again, on behalf of ATF, we are very grateful, and we're humbled to be part of this process. We don't wholly own it. We've co-owned this process, and we shall co-own this particular process. We look forward to meeting you again. No, I wouldn't say to meeting you in 2027. No, we've said that we would like really this to be sort of like a live sort of like process. There will be other intercession sort of like activities that will lead us to 27. All the same, it has been nice to be with you over here, and we are proud as ATF and our partners to have come this far. Thank you very much.
Thank you once again, Professor. Can we give him a round of applause? Thank you for the remarks. We've come to a very special moment. The next voice we will be hearing will be that of His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, the former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You're welcome, Your Excellency.
The Honorable Minister of, Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Dr. Mark Bagabe, thank you for your leadership, and other ministers that are here with us. Let me especially appreciate other CEOs of government agencies and departments from Rwanda and across Africa that are here with us. Let me also appreciate the organizers, AATF, the board chair who just spoke, and the executive secretary and members of the board. Thank you for being with us throughout this period. The partners of AATF and those who sponsors the ACAT program that brought all of us here, we appreciate you. All delegates that have been with us here from Monday till today. I'm not going to make a speech at this closing ceremony. We have listened to so many speeches, including that of the Honorable Prime Minister. The Honorable Minister of Agriculture spoke at various fora, the chairman of the board, the executive director. So we've had so many speeches, and we have listened to fantastic discussions by very good panelists, knowledgeable young men and women that spoke on different issues that covered AgTech. So I don't want to add. But I always remember the lady moderating this program, Isabella Masuzera, always ask the panelists that tell us one sentence that we can take home. So based on her philosophy, I have just 4 sentences that she will take home, not to make a formal speech. 1, Africa is not short of ideas or ambition, never. We are rich in both. We will strengthen our systems and capacity and transform this potential into prosperity. 2, fragmented actions is holding back our progress. We will break the silos and strengthen coordination between key actors, invest in centers of excellence to foster trust and nurture transparent communication between governments, institutions, and the private sector and the people. 3, African youth want to be and should be part of the agricultural transformation story. We will build trust by implementing responsive policies and promote equitable access to meaningful opportunities that make their engagements attractive and very, very rewarding. And finally, effective funding for AgTech solutions is long-term. We will realign our national funding mechanisms to reflect this long-term perspective and persuade our funding partners to take the same view. Please carry these messages with you as you travel safely back home. God bless all of you, and thank you all.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for those key words to remember. Ladies and gentlemen, we now get into more remarks, and I'm delighted to welcome on stage Dr. Alexandra Rutikanga, who is the Chief Technical Advisor at the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Resources. He is also a co-chair for the Local Organizing Committee for ACAT.
Your Excellency, Goodluck Jonathan, former President of Nigeria, and ATF's Goodwill Ambassador, Honorable Ministers, Dr. Mark Bagabe, Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Minister of State, Eric Rigamba, ATF leadership, on the top, Professor Agri Ambari, the Chair of ATF Board of Trustees, and the Executive Director, Dr. Canisius Kananjire. Officials from the government of Rwanda and other governments, development partners, private sector, dear scientists and innovators in agricultural technology, youth and women in agricultural technology, members of the Local Organizing Committee from Kenya and Rwanda, distinguished guests, all protocols observed, good morning. It's a pleasure and a honor to give keynote address on behalf of the ACAT Local Organizing Committee. Someone wrote that ends are not bad things. They just mean something new is about to begin. When we came here on Monday for the ACAT second edition, we could already feel that with ACAT, we were beginning something meaningful. And here we are. We are here to transfer all the technologies we have seen across the exhibitions from here to our dear farmers. Dear partners, dear participants, as we close this transformative edition of ACAT, allow me to express my sincere gratitude for your active participation. Over the past few days, we have explored cutting-edge innovations, forged new partnerships, you exchanged business cards, that's what I mean, and reinforced a shared vision. That is nothing else than technology must serve Africa's farmers. The audience, from precision tools and mobile applications to climate-smart practices and AI-powered diagnostics, we've seen that Africa is not just catching up. Africa is rather setting the pace. The next generation of agricultural solutions for Africa's farmers challenged all of us to move beyond conventional methods and to empower every farmer to thrive in a changing world. 3 truths stood out this week. Number 1, Africa's farmers are ready for innovation that boosts productivity and resilience. Number 2, agricultural technologies must be inclusive. That means serving smallholder farmers, youth, women, among others. Number 3, partnerships are essential. That means no single actor can drive this transformation alone. Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Minister of State of Agriculture in Rwanda, allow me to thank all our partners, especially our co-hosts, ATF, for making Rwanda the venue for this gathering. I also extend a heartfelt vote of thanks to our local organizing committee, which I had a privilege and the honor of leading. Your teamwork, dear members of the local organizing committee, your dedication and the high spirits through all the challenges made this conference a success. ACAT ends with 0 incidents. Thank you to all of you. I also wish to sincerely thank the Minister of Agriculture and Animal Resources of the Republic of Rwanda, and in particular, honorable ministers, for the trust and the confidence they placed in me to coordinate ACAT 2025. ACAT 2025 is not as simple as we thought. It is a premium, high-level platform for showcasing cutting-edge agricultural technologies from Rwanda and across Africa, as you witnessed. It was truly an honor to serve in this role, and thank you, ATF leadership, to have accepted me. Dear participants, as we return home, we are urged to carry forward the momentum. Let's turn pilots into scale. Let's turn ideas into impact for a smarter, more sustainable, and more prosperous African agriculture. On this note, I thank you and safe travels for our guests. Hasta la vista. See you later. Au revoir. Mugere amahoro. Thank you very much. So I would now like to hand over to the chair of ACAT, Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Mark Chuwahiro Kagabe. He was also the chair of this ACAT local organizing committee and the guest of honor for today. Thank you, Minister.
I don't know, is this a moment of deflation? I feel like Professor Mbali said, I feel very relieved indeed that we are coming to this point with no incidences. It means a lot. We have had conferences, not only here, but even elsewhere, where you get someone who has fallen sick, but I'm glad we are all healthy, and we should be able to take the message home in one piece. Your Excellency, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, the former President of the Republic of Nigeria, and Goodwill Ambassador of ATF. I particularly, in this closing remark, want to appreciate you on behalf of agriculture lovers, on behalf of agricultural technologists, and on behalf of the government of the Republic of Rwanda, for giving selflessly your time to be the ambassador for agricultural technology advancement. Honorable ministers here present, the chair of the board of directors, ATF, Professor Agra Mbali, ED, ATF, delegates, distinguished scientists and innovators here, development partners, ladies and gentlemen. As His Excellency said, I think I have had enough time to make speeches. I will just make this closing remark, very brief. This is just to thank you for ending the third day with the same energy and momentum that you started with. I've been to meetings, conferences, where you begin with all chairs full. By the time the meeting ends, the room is half full. But I can see the chairs are still occupied. But there's a lot to shop in Kigali, which you can do after this. So I really want to thank you for giving this meeting, African Conference on Agricultural Technologies, ACAT 25, a priority for your coming to Rwanda. We started with more than 700, close to 800 delegates, and we are ending with probably the same number. The past 3 days have been very, very inspiring. We've discussed a wide range of issues which have been captured in the declaration, so I don't have to repeat them. I just want to say that we as Africans, this is a pivotal moment. With climate change, population growth, we have no choice, but this is a time to act. And we need therefore to forge partnerships with the private sector, which we've said should be in the vanguard of leading agriculture, not actually only commercialization, but also having them as partners in innovations. That's very key. So that's how we should position our relationship with the private sector. As you return home, again, there could be so many key messages, but I think we could just say these 3 or 4. Technology must serve farmers. On the opening day, we said, I think our topic was having farmers at the center. Agriculture that's farmer-centric. That should be our goal, where innovation should be practical, inclusive, and responsive to smallholder farmers' needs, so that we can create jobs, we can create right from the small farmer in Rwanda to a big commercial farmer in Nigeria or South Africa or elsewhere in Africa. When you look at our demography, our continent, we see that we have got actually a demographic dividend of having a big part of our population being young people. So we should invest in our youth to drive agriculture, invest in skills so that they can be able to transform the agriculture landscape. They are the ones who can embrace new digital tools, I think more than people like myself. And we know these can actually scale up much, much faster. Then partnerships are very important, I've said that. Then lastly, but not the least, we've heard from the press speakers, and I think the panelists, and so many sessions that we attended, that agriculture is perceived as high risk. But many of us, we retire in agriculture. Why should we retire in a high risk investment? Is that the time to play with our resources? The answer is no. Agriculture is not high risk. And actually we've invested, or we should invest in risking this enterprise that feeds so many people, that has made many people very rich. I think the richest man in Nigeria and in Africa Mr. Ariko, is it called Ariko? Yes, he must be doing agriculture. I think I had a president saying that he convinced him to go into agriculture. So agriculture has made many people so rich. In the country of the United Kingdom, agriculturists were the most respected people. Those who know this word, they call them boffins. You know, they are the people who drive big cars, Jeeps, Land Rovers, and so on. So agriculture, let's risk it. We create packages of insurance schemes, access to finance, and we will see Africa being transformed. I was listening to a press conference, I think it was a press conference from the president of Uganda. He took a decision that Uganda is not going to export raw materials anymore. There will always be value addition to whatever Uganda exports. That's the way we're going to brand ourselves, and I think that's a very, very good move, which we all Africans should take. We add value, so we own the whole value chain, right from production, then we process, and we market value added. That's the only way we can be able to compete, by branding ourselves. So let's leave this space, Kigali, Rwanda, really inspired and able to take these ideas and translate them into actions. Let me conclude by thanking His Excellency the President of the Republic of Rwanda, who created this environment for us to be able to be here. This space where we're sitting was his vision that Rwanda should have one of its resource generating ventures as tourism and conferences. So conference is one of our targets, and I'm glad that we have this facility that can host all of us. And the Prime Minister for having delegated me to represent him. So allow me to conclude by saying the time to scale the next gen AgTech is now. I wish you safe travels back home if you have to go. If you have to go. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Rwanda is a very welcoming home, and you're welcome to stay. I'd like to kindly welcome back the Honorable Minister. Would like to have a photo moment, and Your Excellency, if you could join him on stage. As we come to this incredible end of our time together, I would like to frame this moment and also thank you for